Hello my dear class, how are you all? Class, I have made another worksheet to help you in revising and summing up the concepts from your course. Means the questions are taken from different chapters to command you in your syllabus. Okay, let us begin with the discussion with MCQs. Okay, what is given? Aqueous copper sulfate is electrolyzed using copper electrodes. The current is constant and the anode positive electrode is weighed at regular intervals. Which graph is obtained when the mass of the anode is plotted against time? So first we understand what is going on. Yes, electrolysis is going on. You know, electrolysis is always conducted in a container with two metallic connections with a battery, and there are two oppositely charged electrodes. The electrode which is the positive charge, the positive terminal is the anode, and the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called as cathode. So it's something going on at anode, and this anode is made up of copper. So what is expected now? We think about it. It is copper. And you know, two reactions go side by side. One side reduction go on, the other side oxidation go on. We see the metal will be dissolved because these are positive ions. Electrons will be lost. Yes, if electrons are lost, the copper will be in positive 2 state. It is called as oxidation. Means the electron will start to dissolve, and with the passage of time, if the weight of this copper electrode is measured, the plots are given, the graphs are given. So you have to see what is expected. The size or the mass of the electrode, copper anode, will be at the decreasal side. So we see what are four different options here. Now in graph A, we see the mass of the anode is decreasing and it's becoming constant after some time. Okay. When we see option B, the mass of the copper anode is increasing with the passage of time. It can't be possible. When we see the mass of the anode, it's decreasing constantly. Okay. When we see the mass of the anode is first 0 and it's increasing. So option D is wrong, option B is wrong, because the mass has to be decreasing. It's not at the increasal side. So from option A and C, we can think of something. If it is decreasing regularly. So what do you think for C? Yes, select the correct answer yourself. Now we see which substance is not a raw material used in manufacture of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is the king of compounds. Formula H2SO4. It's a very strong or concentrated mineral acid, and it is prepared by the oxidation of oxides of sulfur. So we see sulfur dioxide is used. Yes, sulfur is used and water is used to convert the oleum to acid, but not the air. A student mixed together aqueous solution of Y and Z. A white precipitate is formed, which could not be Y and Z. You think about it. If you are given, you remember I taught you many times that whenever we perform some chemical reaction and we are expecting some precipitate to form, and if it is halide or chloride, then we think of maybe silver nitrate or lead nitrate. So in these conditions A, C and D, we can expect white precipitate. From one side chloride is coming, the other side silver metal is coming, and like this. And in option C, lead and chloride. So when these three combinations are possible or are carried, we can expect white precipitation. But what in the case of B, option B? One side sodium is coming. If sodium reacts with chloride, it will be forming sodium chloride, which is soluble in water. You can't see any precipitate in case of option B. Number 4. Which property would all the hydrogen compounds of group 7 elements possess? Yes, think about them. Group 7 elements are the most electronegative elements of the periodic table, and these are called as halogens. B covalent, yes, we can expect of it. The next option is B solid at room temperature. No, from top to bottom the physical state changes. The fluorine and chlorine are gases, the bromine is liquid, but the iodine and astatines are solid at room temperature. So option B is wrong. Option C, form alkaline aqueous solution. This is totally wrong because they are a typical acidic compounds. They conduct electricity when molten. They are even gases, so it's not possible. So what do you think for option A? Yes, which particle is found in iodine vapor? What is iodine vapor? First search it. When you see, you will be able to find the correct answer. Number 6. What suggests that metal M is not in group 1 of the periodic table? Option A. Metal has a bright silvery appearance and is a good conductor of electricity. Metal has a bright silvery appearance and a good conductor of electricity. We can think of it. But one thing very obvious and prominent about group 1 elements or group 1 metals, that they are very soft and very reactive in nature. So they are hardly used as a conductor because they start reacting. Option B, metal is hard and difficult to cut. No, it is not possible. What about option C? Metal produces an alkaline solution when it reacts with water. Yes, we can think of it. And the D option is metal produces hydrogen gas when it reacts with water. Hydrogen gas, yes, you can also think about it. So you have to select which is not in group 2. I guess they are difficult to cut is the wrong one. The 7th MCQ, the diagram shows an outline of the part of the periodic table. Okay, you have to see which statements are correct. Element W, X and Y form colored compounds. Colored compounds W, X and Y. Okay, we will think it later on. Second option is element X, Y and Z have high melting points. Okay, we can think of it also. 3. Element X and Y act as a catalyst. Yes, it is much sensible that these are present in the D block of periodic table. So they must be transition elements used as a catalyst. Now we are asked to select which statements are correct. What do you think about one only? Element W, X and Y form colored compounds. No, making colored compounds is the property of transition elements. Not all the elements can do so. So one is not correct. What about 2 only? The second statement is element X, Y and Z have high melting points. X, transition element, Y, another transition element, and Z. Z is a non-metal. What do you think about it? Option C, 3 only. What is 3? Yes, element X and Y are catalyst. And option D, 1 and 3 only. 1 is wrong, not the 3. Only third option seems to be correct. Next MCQ is, which of these processes can be used to purify water containing insoluble impurities? Insoluble impurities are always separated from water by filtration. And when we filter it, the insoluble substances are removed from water. But you can also collect some facts about chlorination, desalination and distillation. Okay, next is, which metal can react rapidly with steam but reacts only very slowly with cold water? Calcium, copper, iron and potassium. You have to see the position of these metals in the reactivity series. To see, you will be learning the division of metals, all the metals on the basis of their reactivity. So there are some metals which are very reactive, and they start reacting with air, with the moisture even, or with water. And there are some metals which show reactivity on providing temperature, but there are some metals which are very stable or noble, and they never react with water at higher temperatures even. So you see that reactivity series. Then think about calcium, about copper, iron and potassium. Potassium is the very reactive metal. It belongs to group 1. Copper and iron are very stable metals. They will not react with steam even. And what about calcium? Yes, you think about it, because calcium is the metal of group 2. The 10th MCQ is, a hydride is a compound containing only 2 elements, one of which is hydrogen, and there is another element. Which element can form the greatest number of different hydrides? Yes, it is none other than carbon, because the number of hydrocarbons is very large. And because of the catenation property of carbon, it is able to form millions of compounds with hydrogens, and the simplest organic compounds are also called as hydrocarbons. Now the theory section, you have to think very deep. First we collect some prior knowledge. Sulfur reacts with potassium to form potassium sulfate. Potassium sulfide. What do you call this chemical change? Write the chemical formulae and electronic configuration of the positive ions and negative ions of potassium sulfide. Just try it out. The electronic configuration means the distribution of electrons. So first you see how many electrons and protons and neutrons are there in its structure, and using only electrons you write the electronic configuration. Sulfur reacts with hydrogen to form hydrogen sulfide. Okay, draw the dot and cross diagram using the outermost electrons present in sulfur and hydrogen elements. Only draw the outer shells. Okay, hydrogen sulfide reacts with sulfur dioxide to form sulfur and water. Write down the equation for it. First you see the electronic configuration, then their combination, then you try to write the equation for it. And class, do not forget that I am always here to solve your problems, to help you in understanding and writing the answer, but I want you to think for it, and you just sort out the answers anywhere. You have your books, you have your 5-year papers, you have your internet. So just try to solve it with your help. Then I will assess you if you need my help. Thank you. God bless you and take care.